you doing, dog? Ah, get. This is what I'm gonna do before supper. We live on a milk farm. It used to be 100 years ago. Our house is Harley. Gross. Get now. Farm, and so we have some abandoned buildings that were just shoved under. Give me that. Gross. Watch out for the cat. That were just shoved under dirt, and so we run into some nails on occasion. So get. So Rita started to mow this morning before she went to bed and ended up blowing a tire. So she took it and had a new tube put in. For those of you who are not familiar with the idea, a lot of these tires don't come with tubes. They're basically a piece of rubber over a metal rim. And the problem is, if you damage that, then you're at a you have to go get it fixed or if it comes off its seal. But if you have a tube, which if my dad was alive, he would not be happy with because he hated tubes. It gives you a little extra protection against those nails because they can pierce this part and the tube still won't. And it's also way cheaper to replace the tube, which gives you a little cushion. When you put on the lug nuts, even with these little tractors, you put them like this. One here, one here, one here, one here. Never on the top, never on the bottom. You cross each other, otherwise the heavier tires will come back and fall off, or the bolts get too, the lug nuts get too tight. If they don't fit, it means it probably has a different thread, like it had been on another post for too long. So get that in there. Oh, that's a tough one. So I'm going to try this other lug nut. And then you don't tighten them until you get them all on there, and then you tighten them a little bit at a time. And this might be a no-brainer for you guys that have changed your own tire. These little tractors, these little mowers are actually good to learn on. We teach the kids when they're little because the tires are light, and if it bounces off, it won't hurt them. It's to get this on there, so when she gets home, she works until 7 a.m. I leave about the time that she's coming home. The plan is to have this tire back on, and she's making... Yesterday was vegan day for me. I eat vegan on Mondays because I don't know, I want to, no reason. Challenge myself. Sometimes I eat vegan on Tuesday. I had leftover vegan. She's making chops on the grill. Get! So I'm thinking probably not going to eat vegan tonight because I'm hungry. Chops on the grill. I mean, come on. Iowa chops? Really? Like, I'm going to say no. Besides, it would hurt her feelings. She's going around. So that I don't tighten them all at once, because if you tighten one too tight at the top, then all the other ones jut out. This whole tire moves out on you, and it becomes more difficult not only to tighten them, but you can strip your post. And the posts on these things are part of the tractor. They're actually built onto the tractor so that if you screw up your post, you have to replace like a whole section. Which, you know, these little tractors, this is a pretty nice tractor. My dad left it to me when he passed away because I mowed his yard and our yard. For years, so he gave this to me before he died, actually, because I was doing all the mowing, and we killed the John Deere after 12 years. This is a Z-Force, which is a zero-turn kinda. So the problem with these little tractors is also it's very tight to the ground, so I can't always get this post net. So if you start to get to where it's jutting and it's coming off on you, you don't want to tighten anymore. It's plenty tight. These little mowers do not need to be particularly tight. Because you're not like driving down the interstate going 90. I mean, you know, you're just not. So then you want to wiggle your tire, do a double check. Now, after you do that, you're going to go over here. This is the best purchase you can possibly buy. It is a little hydraulic jack. This can lift 3.5 tons, so it can lift a Jeep Wrangler. It can lift a Jeep Cherokee. It can lift a truck. Hi, Harley. Get your girls. Just as a twist. There you go. See, it lets it down on a real easy twist just by twisting this bar. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. The garage is kind of a mess right now. Some work. The garage is a disaster. So now, after you've lowered the mower, it's the key part when you live on an acreage. Get your shit organized. Like, get a workbench, put everything back where you found it, The boys aren't really good at that, so they're just missing, and it's a pain in the ass. So I bought this, which is also a really good investment. It has 4, it fits all of our cars, it fits the mower. Actually, the boys used to each have one in their vehicle. I don't know if they still do, but these are definitely worth it because you can use it on, if you stop to help someone. So now once you got your tire lowered, that gives you a good solid, it can't move, so you can do a double check real quick to make sure it didn't move on you. Again, don't over tighten it because you can strip those little screws. These, see, that one can be tightened a little more once you get it on the ground. But you don't want to over tighten it. 2 reasons you don't want to over tighten it. You can strip the post, and you're the dumbass that has to undo them later, and if you get them too tight, then you have to call one of your sons down to do it. And being that I'm an independent woman, I don't like to make the boys put on pants just to come down and fix this. Now, put on pants to catch a llama, no problem. Put on pants to come down and help me undo a lug nut because I'm an idiot. I'm not real fond of it. So, now, here's another good hint. Make sure your post that the air hose hooks up to is on the outside. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle in these because they're kind of built to fit that way. So that's on there good and tight. Now, again, know where this is. Don't lay this up on the garage floor, don't lay it around. So I actually have a space for it right here that we keep it. It hangs up there. So that's that. Okay, so I got the tire back on. Actually, a good idea, now that I put that away, is to, since you got the tire iron out, you might as well check all the other tires. I'm not going to bore you with that, but go around and check for us. I'll show it to you. Our daughter's 12. She can drive this. She's learning. It's a 0 turn is what they call it. It's not actually a 0 turn. It's a little bit less tight because it's got a steering wheel. I'll tell you a story about my dad. He could not use a 0 turn. A 0 turn takes 2. You have to put a hand on each, and that's how you steer it. However, he was like me, and he had a lot of friends, and he liked to wave. Okay, I'll be up in a second. He liked to wave. And when you are on a 0 turn and you wave and you take one hand off of the handle, you jet off to the right and you jet off to the left, and you hit things like trees, ditches. So he got the steering wheel. Here's another beauty thing about having your own acreage. Sometimes I'm out without a shirt on, which is awesome. Not that they could tell really that I'm without my shirt on, but it's kind of nice to have your own acreage and your sunblock. So that's that. I'm gonna go up and have me some Iowa chops. I don't know when I'll edit this, but there's a little acreage tip for all you young lesbians out there that think you want to live on an acreage. It's not so bad. Keep your tools organized. Know where stuff is. Get yourself a 4-way post, a 4-way iron like that, and you will be thankful. In fact, even if you don't live in the country, get one of those and put it in your car. Because if you ever get stuck somewhere or someone else is stuck somewhere, it's almost guaranteed to fit their car. Unless it's a non-domestic, it's sometimes some little Toyotas or something, the older ones will have kind of this weird thing, but for the most part, it'll work on mowers, it'll work on her. So anyway, I'm going up for supper. Have a good night.